Did you know that reading can make your brain grow bigger and stronger? It's true. When you read, you learn new words and ideas. This makes your brain work hard. Like a muscle, the more you use your brain, the bigger it gets. Isn't that amazing? Reading is like a superpower for your brain. Reading helps you learn about the world around you. You can travel to different places and times. You can meet new people and discover amazing things, all from the comfort of your own home. Just open a book and let your imagination soar. Imagine you could fly with dragons, explore enchanted forests, or even travel to outer space. With books, you can do all of that and more. Books are like magic tickets that transport you to different worlds. Close your eyes and picture this. You're soaring through the clouds on a giant fire-breathing dragon. The wind whips through your hair as you search for a magical kingdom hidden among the clouds. That's the power of reading. It allows you to experience the most incredible adventures. What will you discover on your next reading journey? In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in video games, TV shows, and the internet. These digital distractions are everywhere, and they often seem like the easiest way to pass the time. Whether it's the latest trending show, an addictive game, or endless social media scrolling, screens have become a huge part of our daily lives. But have you ever stopped to think about what you might be missing out on? While these things can be fun, it's important to remember the magic of reading. Reading takes you on an adventure that is far more engaging and rewarding than any screen can offer. When you read, you use your imagination to create the pictures in your head. You become an active participant in the story, not just a passive viewer. This helps you develop your creativity and problem-solving skills. Books can transport you to different worlds, introduce you to fascinating characters, and teach you valuable lessons. They can make you laugh, cry, and think deeply about the world around you. So put down the screens for a bit and pick up a good book. You'll be amazed by what you discover. The stories within the pages of a book can be more thrilling than any movie, more captivating than any game, and more enriching than any social media feed. So next time you find yourself reaching for a screen, consider reaching for a book instead. Your mind and imagination will thank you. What makes a story truly captivating for young readers? Enchantment. Children love to read about magical creatures, faraway lands, and extraordinary adventures. These stories spark their imaginations and fill their hearts with wonder. From the whimsical world of fairies to the fiery breath of dragons, enchanted stories transport children to realms where anything is possible. They meet talking animals who become their loyal companions, encounter mischievous fairies who play tricks, and face fearsome dragons who guard hidden treasures. These stories teach valuable lessons about courage, kindness, and the power of believing in yourself. Section 5. The Little Elephant Who Loved to Read. Once upon a time, in a jungle filled with colorful flowers and tall, whispering trees, there lived a little elephant named Elliot. Elliot was not like the other elephants in the jungle. While they loved to splash around in the mud, trumpet loudly, and play games, Elliot had a different passion. He loved to read. His favorite spot was under a large, ancient tree where the sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a perfect reading nook. Unlike the other elephants who loved to play in the mud and trumpet loudly, Elliot preferred to spend his days with his trunk deep inside a book. He would often be seen with a book in his trunk, completely absorbed in the stories. The other animals in the jungle found it quite peculiar, but Elliot didn't mind. He was happiest when he was lost in a good book. Elliot loved to read about faraway lands, brave knights, and magical creatures. His imagination would take him to places he had never been, and he would dream of being a part of those adventures. He read about knights in shining armor, dragons that breathed fire, and wizards who could cast powerful spells. Each story was a new adventure, and Elliot couldn't get enough of them. He would often act out the stories he read, pretending to be a brave knight slaying a dragon or a wise wizard casting spells. He would use sticks as swords and leaves as magical potions. His imagination knew no bounds, and he would spend hours lost in his make-believe world. The other animals would watch him with curiosity, wondering what he was up to. One day, a group of monkeys saw Elliot pretending to be a wizard. They were swinging from the trees and chattering loudly when they noticed him waving a stick around and muttering to himself. They found it amusing and decided to watch him for a while. As they watched, they couldn't help but giggle at his antics. They laughed and pointed, calling him silly. "Look at Elliot," they chattered. "He thinks he's a wizard." Their laughter echoed through the jungle, and Elliot's ears drooped. He felt a pang of sadness. He had always known that the other animals found his love for reading strange, but hearing them laugh at him hurt more than he expected. Elliot felt sad, but then he remembered a story he had read about a kind wizard who used his magic to help others. The wizard in the story was often misunderstood, but he never let that stop him from doing good. Elliot decided that he would be like that wizard. He would show the monkeys that reading wasn't silly at all. It was powerful and could make a difference. Elliot decided to show the monkeys that reading wasn't silly at all. He thought about all the things he had learned from his books and how he could use that knowledge to help others. He approached the monkeys with a determined look in his eyes and a book in his trunk. "Let me show you something," he said. He used his knowledge from his books to help them find the tastiest bananas in the jungle. He had read about the best places to find ripe bananas and how to tell if they were ready to eat. The monkeys followed him, curious to see if he really knew what he was talking about. To their surprise, Elliot led them to a grove filled with the most delicious bananas they had ever tasted. He even used his reading skills to decipher an ancient map that led to a hidden waterfall. The map had been tucked away in one of his favorite adventure books, and he had always dreamed of finding the waterfall. With the monkeys by his side, he followed the clues and led them through the jungle. When they finally reached the waterfall, the monkeys were amazed. The sight of the cascading water took their breath away. They realized that reading wasn't silly at all. It was actually quite powerful. The monkeys looked at Elliot with newfound respect. They had never realized how much one could learn from books. They asked him to teach them how to read, and Elliot was more than happy to share his love for reading with them. They gathered around him, eager to learn and explore new worlds through the pages of a book. From that day on, Elliot and the monkeys gathered every day to read together under the shade of the tall, whispering trees. They would take turns reading aloud, sharing their favorite stories, and acting out the adventures. The jungle was filled with laughter and excitement as they discovered new tales and learned valuable lessons. Elliot had shown them that reading was not just a pastime, but a gateway to endless possibilities. Section 6. Reading makes you super smart. Reading is more than just fun and games. It's like a superpower that makes you super smart. When you dive into a book, you embark on an adventure that can take you to far-off lands, introduce you to fascinating characters, and immerse you in thrilling stories. Every time you read a book, you learn something new. You discover new words, learn about different cultures, and explore ideas that you might never have encountered otherwise. Books are like windows to the world, offering you a glimpse into the lives and experiences of others, and gain a better understanding of the world around you. Whether it's a story about a distant country or a tale set in a magical realm, reading broadens your horizons and enriches your mind. Reading helps you develop important skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and communication. As you read, you learn to analyze information, make connections, and draw conclusions. These skills are essential not just for academic success, but for navigating the complexities of everyday life. When you read, you learn to think for yourself, form your own opinions, and express your thoughts and ideas clearly. This ability to articulate your views and engage in meaningful conversations is invaluable. And express your thoughts and ideas clearly. Sharing what you've learned with others not only reinforces your own understanding, but also helps build a community of knowledge and curiosity. These skills will help you succeed in school, in your future career, and in life. So, pick up a book, unleash your inner superhero, and let the power of reading transform you into the smartest version of yourself. Section 7. What's your favorite story? Everyone has a favorite story from their childhood. Maybe it's a tale about a mischievous cat, a brave princess, or a magical journey to a faraway land. What are some of your favorite stories? Sharing stories is a wonderful way to connect with others, spark your imagination, and keep the magic of reading alive. Talk to your friends and family about the books you love. You might even discover new favorites. Section 8. Visit BookiKidsShow for more adventures. Looking for more enchanting stories and exciting adventures? Visit BookiKidsShow to discover a world of reading fun. We have something for every young reader, from classic fairy tales to modern adventures. At BookiKidsShow, we believe that reading should be a magical experience for every child. Join us today and let your imagination soar.